Hey everyone, hello again from San Diego. My meeting just got pushed back from 15 minutes. You get a little bit more of this guy. Today I have a topic that seems boring but is actually going to be critically important for the next 10 years. Now, the Russian wheat belt is one of the world's largest chunks of arable land. It's not known for being particularly productive per acre, but it's so huge that it makes Russia far and away the world's largest wheat exporter. Now, the issue here is wheat. Wheat is like the least finicky product out there. It isn't like corn where it needs a huge amount of fertilizer, or like rice where you have to meter out and control its water situation day by day. You throw it on the ground, you come back a few months later, you harvest it, you're done. It's cold tolerant, it's drought tolerant, it's heat tolerant, it's flood tolerant. You can grow it almost anywhere. Now, that made wheat our primary crop going back to the earliest days of civilization and even pre-civilization. But when you fast forward to the industrial age, and most notably the globalized industrial age of post-1945, we started to grow wheat in different places. It used to be that wheat was number one, and you would grow it everywhere. But in the globalized system, countries could use land that was really good or specifically good for specific crops to grow something else. Avocados, soy, hemp, whatever you want. And wheat got pushed to the margins because wheat's not finicky. So you would grow your high value dollar items on your good land, and you would grow wheat on the margins. Now, this is all fine and good in a globalized system where you can trade and export kumquats or Kias and then purchase wheat on the international market. But that world's going away. And between what's going on in China and what's going on with the Ukraine war, we're looking at global fertilizer shortages. And you put those two things together, and we have a really big problem just around the horizon. Because we grow wheat in places nothing else will grow, but we're doing this during the industrial era. So we're growing wheat in places only wheat will grow if you have access to industrial technologies like pumped irrigation and fertilizer. If you remove fertilizer and pumped irrigation at the capital that allows us to grow wheat in the marginal lands, you can't grow anything there. And so you have to go back to growing wheat in territories that were actually considered high quality. That means not only are we looking at a breakdown in global supply chains for agriculture, we are looking at the large-scale abandonment of a lot of the territories where we now grow wheat. Now, this won't happen in countries that are still going to have sufficient capital supplies and access to inputs like fertilizer, so Canada and the United States are fine. France is fine. Australia is probably fine too. But you move beyond the short list, and we're getting into a situation where not only are we not be growing on that marginal land, on our good land, we're going to have to start growing wheat again so that countries can maintain a degree of internal self-sufficiency. And so we're going to see a collapse in production of non-wheat crops as wheat goes back to the fore because it has to, or people starve. So this is really the end of globalized agriculture in its current form. Now, it'll affect different places differently. Like I said, North America looks pretty good. Australasia looks pretty good. France looks pretty good. India, call it 85% good. But this is going to be a big problem in the Russian space, in the Northern European space, in the South American space, and in the African space, especially North Africa, I would think. It's a real issue that's coming forward very soon. Now, we know that the Ukrainians have been successful in planting at least half of their wheat crop for this year, which is great news, all things considered. Assuming for the moment that the Russians can't advance much beyond where they are, and who knows if that's true these days, this would suggest that at least Ukraine is going to have sufficient wheat for now. But if the Russians do manage to advance further, which I think they will, we are looking at the world's number 4 wheat exporter becoming a net importer for the foreseeable future, at the same time that the global complexion for where we grow what changes radically. So we're looking at a lot less money in agriculture at the same time we have a lot less output from agriculture. And the countries that can have a relative benefit from that, such as the United States, it's going to be a great year for farmers. But for everyone else, not so much. All right, that's it for me today. Till next time.